What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great day as always. So today we're going to go ahead and hop back onto the Grand Cherokee build. So my goal with today is to wrap up the back with the tank tuck, putting the storage unit in, all of that stuff, and just get the back all wrapped up. Next week's going to be spraying on primer and then the Raptor liner. So let's go ahead and head over there and show you guys the progress I've made off camera, and then I'll also show you guys what the plan is for today and things like that. Alright, so as you guys can see, I have the cover off again, and I have the entire storage unit out of the Jeep. Today, we're working on the fuel line. So like I said when I was making the storage unit, my plan was to cut a hole here, run it down to the gas tank. Now this is just the factory hose, and it like kind of fits, as you guys can see. See if it'll focus a little better. There it goes. So as you guys can see, not a perfect fit or anything like that. And then I also want to get like a rubber grommet or some sort of thing to go around the inside of this, so that way the hose doesn't rub on the metal that we cut out and like rip or tear or anything like that, because that would really suck to take all this up. So I think what my plan is to go to the store, get some more hose of this size, and then just route one on my own, figure that out as we go, because I don't really want to have to like risk this popping off or the connection on the fill thing to pop off and then have to take this all apart. Because once we finalize that and get that all set up, I'll go ahead and weld those two plates in right here. So I think my plan there is to cut the carpet out along this square spot, because I do have that cover that will be covering it. And once we cover it with that, I'll go ahead and weld those plates in, cover it up with the sheet, and then put our storage unit back on top. And then honestly, we should be pretty much done in the back of the Jeep. After that, like I said, next week we'll be doing Raptor liner and primer and all that stuff. And after that, I'm gonna have to do the transfer case, because as you guys know, we blew that up off-roading. One more thing I wanted to show you guys before I went to the store to get some more hosing and stuff like that, was that to make this work, I did have to cut off a section of the metal piece that goes into where you put your gas. I don't know like the correct term for that or anything, but we did have to cut off a decent amount of it just to get the hose to bend at the right spot to go through the hole that I had drilled in the back of the Jeep. So not a huge issue, just took a Sawzall to it, cut it off. I did save this side, and then I just cut the bracket off of this piece, so that way if there's somewhere I can remount it, I can zip tie it somewhere or something like that. Not a huge deal. But let's go ahead and head to the store, pick up some more hose, and then get this all finished up. Alright guys, so day 2, I got the hose connected down here, ran through the side here. I'm going to put some kind of rubber coating on the bottom of this metal so the hose isn't scraping back and forth and cut itself. And then hose is hooked up here, just put a screw in there. It doesn't line up perfectly the second time, but I'm not too stressed about that one. So once I get the lining on the bare metal there, next step is to install these. So I was thinking about it, and I'm not actually going to weld it to the floor, because say I need to replace something down here, I don't want to have to cut this out. So I think the way we're going to go is trim out where we'll need to for this hose to fit through, and then I'll probably weld along the middle here because I don't want these rattling on top of each other, and then just put the self-tappers around the side with some kind of silicone or something. That way it's watertight and none of the fumes will come up here and everything like that. And then after that, this will be about wrapped up. We can put the storage box back in the rear. So let me go ahead and wrap that with something so the hose doesn't rip, and then we'll get started on this. While we're under here, I am going to go ahead and relocate all the Evap system stuff, get rid of all of this and move it on top of the gas tank. I've heard of a few people doing this. I don't really know where else you would put it easily, so I'm going to stick mine here. I ran all the lines up through the side, and besides that, it's about ready to have the cover put on. Just waiting on that paint to dry still. It's a little tacky. And then the carpeted cover, and then we'll put the storage unit back in the back, and we'll be all done back here. So as you can see, got the little cutout for the hose there. That worked out pretty much perfectly. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to seal these holes down here, because I can't get this panel to seat underneath of here. Probably mess with that a little bit more and try to get that right. But next up, I'll weld along this line, and then we'll just put a bunch of self-tappers and silicone around the outside. And this thing should be secured, and we can go ahead and throw the storage box back on top, and then that pretty much wraps up the tank tuck. Alright, so I got most of this welded up, but the welder did shut off. I think we messed up some of the like fuses in the garage, so I'll take care of that in a second. I have down here left and right here left. And then there's a couple spots where I messed up when I was trying to get the settings right. But let me see if it'll focus. Right through there is probably like some of my better welds so far. I mean, I'm still learning how to do it, obviously, and kind of still have no idea what I'm doing. But that's kind of the purpose of this Jeep, is to learn all that stuff. Alright guys, so as you can see, I got the plate on, self-tappers all around the outside. These weren't included with the kit, so I did have to go pick some up. Not a huge deal there. Like I said earlier, I only welded the middle, so that way if something goes wrong underneath, you need to replace something, a line or anything, just take out the few self-tappers over on the side and the plate comes off and it's super easy to get to versus having to cut this out. Like I said before, I'm not the best at welding by far, but just practicing. It's kind of the point of this whole car, is to practice. Another thing I'm super happy with the outcome of is relocating that Evap system. So as you guys can see, so much more room back here now. I did have to repaint the gas tank skid plate. Not a huge deal though. But that pretty much wraps up this video. I'm just gonna cut this cover to fit around the hose and then see what I can do about filling in that hole. Haven't really decided what my plan is there yet. Throw the storage unit back in the back. And then this upcoming week, we will actually be Raptor lining the Jeep. I do have to do something about these gaps here before I do Raptor liner, so I'm going to figure that out as well. Same with the other side, but this week is definitely going to be paint, and then we'll work on tires, lift, and axles after that.